All right, you guys, welcome to another video. I'm pretty much just gonna break down today's trade. Well, I'm gonna break down today's two trades because we did lose the first trade, which was a buy, and then I sent out a second signal, which was a sell, and that one went for over 2,000 pips. And if you can see right now, I think it's still up probably what 1,400 pips, 13. So that's just running in profit. This is actually where I took my profit at right here, where it's just uh, kind of consolidating right now. So I'm gonna tell you guys, what made me take that buy, right? And also what was the risk behind the buy. Because anytime you get in a trade, you have to realize, what's the risk. As far as your position in the market, your lot size, all those kind of things. Um, you know, if you have a set number of trades you take a day, like for me, it's probably between two and three, which I only want to take one, but two and three if something is lining up, right? It's kind of like the max. So you just have to make sure that before you get in the trade, all of those things are realized, right? So this is the hour chart. So right here, you can see. So this is I'm gonna take you guys from London session or a little before London session until the opening for New York, right? So pretty much you have up here, we have during London session, we establish a what? We establish a high, right? We establish a high. We never establish a low, right? The low is over here, which is not set up during London. So all we have from London is an established high. So if price doesn't break that high, what does it mean? It more than likely means that price is going to continue to push down to the downside. And that's what price did today. Um, Now a few things are going on right now. If you look at my screen, you see this is a continuation pattern, right? And a continuation pattern usually looks like this: a massive sell and then a slow incline up, right? And this was last week. I think this was what, Thursday, right? So we have a continuation pattern that has been formed. So pretty much this is a continuation pattern, right? Like I said, a major push down and then a slow push up. This is a slow push up, right? Now you see right here, I have major push coming. So that means unless price breaks right here, this last previous high that this week has formed, that I don't expect price to give me the kind of move that we got from the sale, which was a over 2,000 pip trade, right? So, right then and there that this buy was not an A1 setup, right? This buy was not an A1 setup. This sale could be close to an A1 setup, but it wasn't an A1 setup, even though I did recognize the chart pattern or the candle pattern that was being formed, which was, like I said before, a continuation formation, because you see a strong push down and you see a slow climb up. And we all know that when price does that and it finally breaks out of that continuation formation, that it usually goes, right? And that was the case for today for the second signal when it went over 2,000 pips, right? So took that first L, and then we took the second trade of the day was a win. Um, Another thing too, right? You can't be afraid to pull the trigger because if you don't pull the trigger on that buy, possibly not going to pull the trigger on that sell. And also when you pull that trigger, um, you're sticking to your confirmations. Like I said before, I realized what it was forming, but I realized at a certain point that we were at in a market. And like I said right here, it appeared to have created a liquidity grab, right? So pretty much anything in this area was grabbing and then going to the upside because like I said before, it was a continuation pattern that was being formed. But also I thought right here that we created a level of liquidity grab. And I thought when it went back down and it kind of formed right here with this hour chart, with this candle right here, we have appeared to be a loss of momentum, which it wasn't, right? Fooled me. So once we broke above that hour, we got in that buy, went like 100 pips, and then it continued for the real move. And that's when I realized what it was, and we got in for the sale. So you just cannot be afraid of, pulling the trigger. You can't be afraid of losing. You can't be afraid of the what ifs because you never really know. Like I said before, all this stuff was shown, but you never know until the trade has happened or has ended, right? Now, even though we have a continuation pattern forming right here, right, which is very visible to see, right? Price could have just consolidated today, right? So it could have broke out of that range of the continuation pattern and it could have just consolidated. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to recognize what the price is doing for that particular pair, and you have to be able to execute, right? So no one was complaining at all, because they kind of know just how we trade right in the market. You can't be afraid to lose. I think that is our fourth loss this month. So we're 11-4. I think like it's like 67% accuracy. I'm gonna get that to 80. But yeah, so you know, a 350 pip loss compared to a over 2,000 pip win cancels out, right? Cancels out. It's null and void. So you just have to be able to recognize what the market is doing, remain calm, remain patient, and execute. And that's the way you're going to be profitable long term. You can't sit here and have, 10,000 plus hours put in. And when it's time to trade, when I open the session, you're scared, right? Like I said before, I realized what price was doing. I realized what candle formations was being formed. I realized the risk that we took. I realized that, if I did get in here for the buy, that we could have had one entry, two entry, right? Possible three entries on that one particular trade that would take us to the upside, right? That's a well thought out trade as far as risk to reward. Also, with this sale, right? And this is the hour, but you can see on the smaller time frames, you do have a chance to get you at least at least 2 to 3 entries as well on this sale, which makes this a great entry, right? Right now we had a what? This trade was This trade was a 1 to 6.5, right? So almost a 1 to 7. Oh, down a little more. So this trade was a 1.67. So almost a 1 to 7, right? With the risk being a 1 and the reward being a 7, right? That's pretty much saying you risk 350 pips and 350 pips to SL times 7, right? So let's say, for instance, let's just make it real easy, simple math. I use a 0.10. I'm risking $350 to possibly make what on a 1 to 7, right? Over $3,000, right? That's a 1 to 7. So I'm risking $350 to make over $3,000, right? That's what they say when they say risk to reward. It has to match up, right? And the same thing with the buy, right? If the buy would have took off, it would have been the same thing. We were risking $350. Like I said, let's use a 10 to make the math simple. $350 to possibly make more than $3,000. And I think anybody that's logical is gonna take that chance. But it's a lot different when you're in the market and you have other things that are playing into that as far as like your lot size and level of confidence and things like that. And I think that's where a lot of people tend to fail in the markets, right? Because you could have had that same thought process, but if you use a bigger lot size, as far as like if you over leverage for your account, you know, one loss could cripple you and you're not going to be able to either get in uh with the same lot size to make your money back and then some, or you're going to be very frightful, right? Because that loss is going to do two things. It's going to cripple your account because you're over leveraged, and it's also going to cripple your confidence. So if you're someone that's like that and you can't be profitable, that might be a reason why. You're killing yourself in one shot, right? It's like killing, two birds with one stone. That's what you're simply doing when you over leverage sometime and you can't afford to. Um, so yeah, man, that was just today's trade. It's Monday. That was a big trade on a Monday. So we'll see what this week cranks out. But so far, we are down this week, right? We are down as far as the chart. Obviously not pip count and not money profited, but as far as price, it is down. So we'll look and see if price is really trying to sell back down, right? maybe test those lower areas, maybe grab some liquidity, create some liquidity. I can't say for sure. This is the first day. Um, I can just react, right? I cannot predict the market. I guess I could try to predict it, but you can never predict. You can only react. So that was today's two trades. Like I said before, that loss, which was the buy, was at 350. It did confirm. The risk was worth it, and then we went back with a sell, and that risk was also worth it, and that risk paid out. Right. So subscribe to the channel, you guys. Subscribe to the channel. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, digital_money_Marv, MARV, right? Just Marv, short for Marvin, right? Follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my page. And see you guys at the top because the bottom is not an option.